Harry's Wife, Part 100.36. Banish them once and for all. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, continuing to educate you about narcissism, utilizing the prominent example of Harry's wife. Harry's wife pops up regularly in the news. Part of that is, of course, a consequence of her need to remain relatable, prominent, and newsworthy through the PR puff pieces that we're so familiar with. Those that appear in the supine productions, such as People.com, Harper's Bazaar, Tatler, The Daily Mirror, and, of course, Hello. She's also reported on regularly by other newspaper outlets, though increasingly in a less favourable or downright critical manner. She is particularly newsworthy, in inverted commas at the moment, as a consequence of course, the mini-royal tour that's taking place, and, of course, the podcraps that are being released on Spotify on a weekly basis. However, our first observation comes not through the lens, as she would love to say, of Harry's wife, but rather with observations about potential problems for her coming from other members of the royal family. As you know, I regularly utilize video material, photographic material, and newspaper articles and broadcast news. I allow you to make a determination with regard to the veracity of the material that I'm referring to. Here, in something called International Business Times, an article by Tanya Diente tells us, Prince William leading charge to strip Harry's wife, Prince Harry, of royal titles. Queen Elizabeth II, Prince William, and Prince Charles are believed to be under pressure to strip Prince Harry and Harry's wife of their royal titles. The couple left their royal duties in 2020, but they still continue to use their titles in public engagements carried out in parts of the United States of America and in the United Kingdom. Sense of entitlement, lack of accountability, hypocrisy, triangulation. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are accused of capitalizing on their royal connections, despite no longer representing the British monarchy. Sense of entitlement, hypocrisy. They have allegedly angered the British public because they continue to use their titles while they shade the royal family in interviews. As such, calls have been made to strip Prince Harry and Harry's wife of their Duke and Duchess titles. A source told OK magazine that the highest levels of the firm are telling Queen Elizabeth II that she needs to banish the couple once and for all, and that Prince William is the one leading the push. Once upon a time, of course, Prince William would have had emotional empathy for his brother and his sister-in-law. But as a normal, that emotional empathy soon becomes eroded by the conduct of the Gruesome Twosome. William's sense of service and his emotional empathy for his grandmother and other people affected by the Gruesome Twosome's behaviour means that he instead will now respond by ignoring them as set out in the no-contact Cambridges, see parts passim, and, of course, a more proactive action of removing the titles. The title matters to Harry's wife. Status matters to narcissists, particularly those of mid-range and greater. The pillar of status is one of the many pillars that exist within the narcissist which can be toppled, and which can lead to, essentially, the breakdown of the narcissist construct, leaving them in a very difficult position by toppling those relevant towers. By attacking the status pillar that props up the construct that is the narcissist will not immediately crumble, because it is but one of several pillars. But it will cause a problem, and the act itself, of course, is one that will provide challenge fuel. It's a negative act in itself, and therefore there is fuel provided by it, not a huge amount, but the loss of the title, The loss of that status not only impacts upon, of course, Harry's wife's belief that she is the Empress of Woke and Queen of the world, but moreover, it would reduce the opportunities. She fails to realise that the only reason people have an interest in her, at least originally, was because of who she married. As has been demonstrated by the most boring speech ever given in the history of ever in Manchester, she's an empty individual, industrial beige, with nothing to say for herself of any interest, insight, or inspiration. The fact is now, most people's interest in her is simply to stand there and watch the car crash. It's akin to rubbernecking, the expectation that she's going to crash and burn as she moves on this downward spiral. Nobody's interested, or very few, are interested in her for her supposed insights into the world, her bananitarianism, and her political ambitions. The loss of the title will not only result in a significant threat to her control by removing it, which of course would ignite her fury, but it then strips her potentially of the means of accessing residual benefits. Not having a title means that she's less likely to be wanted by these organisations. You can't tell me that One Young World felt they got value by the fact that she came out with that word salad. No, the use to them was the fact that she was turning up, which meant there was a lot of press attention, media attention. They undoubtedly were sat there thinking, fuck me, that was a load of bollocks, wasn't it? But it doesn't matter, because the fact that she was here means that the world's press attention was focused upon our summit, our conference, and that's what matters. Returning to the article, it explains Prince William evangelises the Queen's never complain, never explain example. It is widely accepted by the royal family that staying silent is usually best, and airing one's dirty laundry, especially as a member of the monarchy, never turns out well, the insider explained. If Harry and Harry's wife no longer have titles, it would be easier to argue that a response isn't warranted, the source added. It is said that Harry's wife had left Prince William furious after she slammed the royals in her Ask Wipes podcast and in a recent interview. She admitted on her Spotify podcast that she never knew how it felt to be treated as a black woman until she married Prince Harry. She also felt the negative connotation behind the word ambition when she married into the royal household. If that was not enough, the former Suits actress revealed in her interview with The Cut that she and Prince Harry were happy to leave the United Kingdom and their royal life behind. She also seemed to blame their rift with the royals on the firm. The source claimed that Prince William is desperate to preserve the credibility of the royal family. It is expected, then, that he will demand a review of the agreement that allows Prince Harry and Harry's wife to keep their Duke and Duchess titles. The pressure mounts, not only externally from many people who believe that the appropriate way to deal with these two is to strip them of their titles, as punishment for their behaviour, but also to prevent them from leverage the connection that they have with the royal family. And it would now appear that there is pressure that's mounting within the royal family for action to be taken. As I've explained, if this does occur, this will present a significant problem for Harry's wife as a double whammy: the loss of the title in itself, that act threatening her sense of control, and of course what it then means in terms of reduced interest in her, thus making it harder for her to control people, meaning she'll draw less fuel, and of course it will impact upon that all-important residual benefit of money. The pressure mounts. The tidal wave of dislike, disapproval, and denunciation gathers pace. We will, of course, continue to observe it and comment further. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.